Okay, so when I saw this on First Take yesterday, I didn't play it no mind. Just a little back and forth disagreement. I didn't think this thing was going to blow up. I didn't think this thing was going to go viral. 24 hours later, man, I was wrong. I should have came out with a video and uploaded it that day. But it seems like there's some issues between Shannon Sharpe, Kirk Herbstreit, and Stephen A. Smith. And I'm going to go into this article. By the way, if you want to read the full article, it's on Yahoo Sports. Tension seemed to be brewing between ESPN's First Take contributors Shannon Sharpe sending a warning shot to Kirk Herbstreit following his comments on the show criticizing Ohio State head coach Ron Day. As the Buckeyes were putting the finishing touches on their dominating win over Tennessee in the first round of the college football playoffs, the ESPN analyst and former Ohio State quarterback Herbstreit called out the popular show for what it said about Day. After Ohio State lost to Michigan for the fourth straight season, several people said Day should either be fired or his job should be fired depending on if the team wins the national championship. First Take tried to fire him. They thought he was done. So and this is Kirk Herbstreit saying this, so let me repeat that again. First Take tried to fire him. They thought he was done. So I was excited to see what they were talking about on Monday's show after this performance. Herbstreit said on the ESPN, on his show on ESPN, they had him out trying to find a replacement, but here he is, and he still has his hat on. He's still coaching, okay? With the debate show returning to the airwaves on Monday, the pundits were able to deliver their response to Herbstreit. No stranger to firing back, Stephen A. Smith was actually tamed with his response. He said he should be the one who takes the heat for the criticism of Day. And it's not First Take, it's Stephen A. Smith's take. And they should attack Stephen A. Smith for his take for anyone else on the show, he said. He was misquoted by the college football analyst, that's Herbstreit. But Sharpe did not hold back when it was his turn to respond. I'm going to be a good teammate. I'm going to let it slide. Everybody at at ESPN, because had you not taken the route you taken, I would have. And he said an expletive. Sharpe said, if you're going to be on the same team, if we're going to work for the same network, don't do that, Kirk. Chris Fowl, I promise you, even if you mention it on any platform, again, I'm taking it there. I wonder what they're going to say as negativity. I promise you, ESPN ain't got enough bosses to keep me off of you. Y'all, keep me off of y'all for what I'm going to say. So I'm gonna just stop it right here. Just some more stuff that he said, because he also took his response on his show Nightcap, which I thought that was kind of weird, but hey, it is what it is. Shannon Sharpe has the right to respond to and be critical. But here's my thing, all right? Let's start with, well, we're on the same team. We're teammates, okay? Basically, he's saying that they both work for ESPN. So what Shannon Sharpe is implying that is, since we're teammates, okay, if I'm critical of your former college, if I'm critical of your former employer, if I'm critical towards someone in your family, if I'm critical to your close friends, okay, if I'm critical to your current employee, well, your former employees or teammates or players or whatever, you shouldn't take a shot at me because I'm critical of people that you deem very close in your life. That's basically, I'm paraphrasing what Shannon Sharpe said. So basically, we're on the same team. And I can be critical to anyone that's close, that you deem close as a close friend or a family member, and you should not respond. That is the most asinine, ridiculous thing. Because Shannon Sharpe, let me flip it to you. What if your daughter is working for some college, is a coach at some football team or some female or basketball team, whatever the case may be, and they lost a crucial game. So no one on ESPN should be critical of your daughter. Is that what you're saying? Because you work for ESPN, and I think a lot of this has to do with his time at Fox Sports 1 and CBS Sports, where he always took the high road when he got fired at those two places. I think Shannon Sharpe is putting his guards up. He's not going to, in his mindset, and this is his mindset only, he's not going to take arrows or take blows from people that work at the network when they're critical of his response when he's critical of something else. I just think that's asinine. Just because we work at the same company, I'm allowed, and they pay me for this type of content. All right? Kirk Herbstreit is getting paid for his opinion. Now, I know a lot of people want to limit Kirk Herbstreit to college football. It does not work that way, folks. ESPN pays a lot of money to Kirk Herbstreit, and they pay a lot of money for him to create and generate content. All right? Because as long as Kirk Herbstreit is talking, as long as Kirk Herbstreit has an opinion, that is very beneficial to ESPN. That's what they pay him for. And the same goes for Shannon Sharpe. ESPN pays a lot of money for Shannon Sharpe to create content, to create buzz for ESPN. There's a reason why ESPN is the #1 sports network. Okay? We're not talking about a couple of shows. We're talking about the network itself. It's ESPN. ESPN has no competition in the sports media market. I don't care what anybody says. Y'all can throw out Fox Sports 1. You can throw out, a website. You can throw out, this channel. You can throw out this. There's no one bigger than ESPN when it comes to sports entertainment. They have no competition. And the reason why they don't have no competition is they got all the talent. They got all the personalities, okay? Everybody gravitates to ESPN, even yesterday. And I thought yesterday was not that big. It's just a disagreement. But this disagreement avalanche into something big, buzzworthy, and viral. And this is a good thing for ESPN. So I don't get where Shannon Sharpe saying, well, we're teammates. I can be hypocrite. I can criticize anyone that you deem close to you, but you can't criticize me. It doesn't work that way, Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has been in this business for so long. I don't know why he has this opinion, okay? And a lot of people are pointing to the fact that his recent employer, Fox Sports 1, allowed the freedom for Shannon Sharpe to be critical to Skip Bayless and Skip Bayless to be critical to Shannon Sharpe. Okay, it's a two-way street. It's not a one-way street where everyone's critical to Shannon Sharpe and Shannon Sharpe cannot defend himself. It does not work that way. Okay. Secondly, I really do now, and I've seen this with Shannon Sharpe. I have, watched a lot of Shannon Sharpe content, and I watch what he says, and you have to pay close attention to what Shannon Sharpe says because Shannon Sharpe is pretty much telling you the obvious. I think ESPN did go to Shannon Sharpe. I think ESPN did go to Kirk Herbstreit when it went out of control. I think when Shannon Sharpe was and Stephen A. Smith was critical of Ron Day, talking about if he does not win the national championship, he should lose his job. I didn't. I don't think ESPN intervened into that, and I don't think they intervened when Kirk Herbstreit responded after they won their big game, and he said, "Okay, now I want to see what First Take says about Ron Day now." What they're going to how they feel about him now, because earlier in the season when they lost to Michigan, they were expecting him to be fired. Okay, um, I don't think ESPN got into that conversation. I do think when Shannon Sharpe, I don't care how he labels this, and I don't care about Shannon Sharpe fans, how y'all label it, or Kirk Herbstreit fans, or ESPN, whatever the case may be. Whoever you're a fan of, I don't care how you take this. But when Shannon Sharpe says there's not enough bosses that's going to get me off of you, that is a threat. That is a very serious threat, because what you are implying to is it's going to get physical. I don't think it would have gotten physical. I just think Shannon Sharpe talks just to be talking. And I think Shannon Sharpe talks for shock value. But when you're in, when you're working with other people can perceive that as a threat. Okay? It's just like, if you're in the office, and this is office talk on another level for ESPN. I don't know how it is at your job, or anyone else's job, but this is office conversation, office talk. The only difference is their office talk is publicized. Okay, our office shop talk is not publicized, other than the cameras. I'm pretty sure there's cameras everywhere monitoring everything, but it's not like ESPN. All right. And when you say things like that, that can be perceived as a threat. Now, I don't know Kirk Herbstreit or Shannon Sharpe personally, but ESPN is looking at this. The HR offices are looking at this, and they're going like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Everything was cool until Shannon Sharpe, said that there's not enough bosses to get me off of your ass." Okay, that can be perceived, because if you listen to that clip and then later on listen to Shannon Sharpe say that exact same thing on his show, he put some more definition behind what he said. Okay, well, I meant to say was, what I said was, I don't care what the bosses say, I'm going to respond back to Kirk Herbstreit. Okay, and then he went into the meaning of what he meant, but initially earlier that morning, he just said it that way. That could be perceived as a threat. I don't think Kirk Herbstreit reported him. I don't think Herbstreit is going to report him when he says that. I don't think Kirk Herbstreit is scared of Shannon Sharpe any more than Shannon Sharpe's scared of Kirk Herbstreit. So let's just get all the animation on out of the way. These are two grown men. They're two alpha men. Neither one of them are scared of one another. If one of them say boo, the other one's not going to run, to on the other side of the office. I think they can handle themselves if it got that physical. I don't think it was that physical. I think this is all banter, to fire it up to make it go viral. I think Shannon Sharpe knows that this was going to go viral. I think Kirk Herbstreit knew when he initially said it Saturday, that the possibility of this was going to go viral. I don't think Shannon Sharpe wants to fight Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk Herbstreit doesn't want to fight Shannon Sharpe. But when you say things like that, when you throw that out in the atmosphere, there are other people watching, okay, which are advertisers. They're watching, which is your viewership. They're watching. And believe it or not, people, there are people who are watching that take offense to what you say. And ESPN has to answer for those people. Okay, when you're dealing with viewership, when you're dealing with sponsors, you have to walk a tightrope type of line where you don't offend either or, okay? Because that's a lot of dollars that cannot afford to miss. All right, let's just go on and get that on out of the way. So when he said that, I do think ESPN said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! This sounds like this is going to another level. So we need to, talk to both of them to, okay, what's going on here, all right?" And when you listen to Shannon Sharpe, particularly on the nightcap clip, I just think Shannon Sharpe was offended because he believes that since Kirk Herbstreit and him work for ESPN, he shouldn't be slinging no mud at Shannon Sharpe. That's basically what Shannon Sharpe is saying, or be critical of Shannon Sharpe. And I've said this in countless videos. Shannon Sharpe is one of those type of guys that sling arrows at you, but the minute you defend yourself, he plays victim. He plays like, "I don't know why you mad at me, or talking about me, And Shannon, I think he's a little sensitive towards that. And to me, when you're making that type of money, when you're on the national stage, the grand national stage, you have to expect you have to expect there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to like your opinion, and they're going to get personal with you. Or if you get personal with somebody, expect them to be personal right back to you, okay? Because that is your MO, Shannon Sharpe, believe it or not. People know when when you get personal and chippy, people know the best way to counteract that is to get personal and chippy with you, and you don't like that, okay? So I believe in this old adage: if you can't if you can't dish it, don't take it. I mean, if you can't take it, don't dish it. Okay, I'm a full believer of that. Okay, when I'm being critical of someone, I don't do personal blows. I don't feel like that person should get fired. I don't go that far. I'm not as big as Shannon Sharpe. I'm not as big as ESPN. I'm not as big as Stephen A. Smith or Kirk Herbstreit. I'm just a little guy. But to me, I try to keep it in bounds. I don't attack no one's family. I don't attack someone's personal beliefs or religious beliefs or whatever the case may be. I just, to me, I'm just sharing an opinion, and I don't have to get personal with my opinion. Okay, it may sound personal to a lot of people, but that's fair. But I never talk about people, or I clearly keep it on the performance, not the person, but their performance. Okay, I can separate the two. I can clearly hate a person. And hate is such of a strong word. If the person is a hateful person, you would never know, because I don't go into that spectrum. I just talk about the person in response of what everyone else is talking about, and then I share my opinion, and then I just keep it pushing, keep it moving on. I don't have to have relationships with people. I don't have to be a fan of someone. I don't have to be a hater of someone. I can just speak my what I feel about it and just keep it moving. Okay. And case in point with Jason Whitlock, a lot of people thought I was taking Jason Whitlock's side, but particularly when he got departed from Fox Sports 1. And I remember doing that video, and in the comment section, people thought I was taking Jason Whitlock's side. No, I'm just telling you guys the story, and I'm just giving you my opinion about the whole entire story. And people thought I was taking his side. And the same goes for Stephen A. Smith. A lot of people thought I was going I'm a Stephen A. Smith in pundit. Now, I'm just telling you guys the story. I'm sharing my opinion about the story. And the same, and even though a lot of people feel like I have a disdain or a distaste for Shannon Sharpe, I'm just, and I was more for Skip Bayless and more for Shannon Sharpe. And I was the first content creator when that relationship was deteriorating with Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. I was the first one. And I don't think I was the only one, but I was in that first group of people that says, look, when people finally get a chance to understand the dynamics of that relationship and why it deteriorated so fast, when people find out that there were no real victims in that relationship, um, and or Skip Bayless was the bad guy and Shannon Sharpe was the good guy. And when people later on found out, like, whoa, wait a minute, it do sound like Shannon Sharpe deserves some responsibilities in this as well. And it's the same goes for Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless deserves some responsibilities in why it did not work. But ultimately, I always said that, look, this was a money thing. Fox Sports 1 made their decision based on how much money that they see that they was going to lose by maxing out both of these guys only to be the second or third best show. Because even when Shannon Sharpe was there, they could not even dethrone First Take. And I'm not going to go down that video. You can go check out those videos. I gave you the real reason why they couldn't dethrone First Take. You can check out them videos at your leisure. But and when I was hearing this clip yesterday, that's the first thing I came out of my mind after listening to Shannon Sharpe. I think Shannon Sharpe took this way too personal. He has to understand that, and I'm pretty sure he does understand this, that people are not, you're not going to be, what you say is not going to be the most popular thing. People are going to, disagree with your opinion. And it's just par for the course. But hey, it is what it is. I'm sorry for this video to be extremely long. I'm going to try to get this video out and pop in later today. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.